Hey, what's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about WandaVision before Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out. I watched the show when it originally came out. I just never did my full review on it. I only did my first reaction to the first couple episodes when that was first released. And now I'm going to review the entire show, episode 1 to episode 9. And I will be reviewing it with the thought in mind that there is no season 2, so everything is going to conclude with the show where it started. So there is no season 2 for WandaVision. With that being said, let's go and get into this baby. So WandaVision overall, I think it's a pretty good show. Yeah, I would say it's my favorite superhero TV show since Daredevil, but so far Moon Knight is pretty good so far, so that might be my favorite. But WandaVision, I feel like it really just shit the bed at the end. Let's go back to the first couple episodes. So episode 1 is basically just Vision's boss comes over for dinner, and Wanda's unprepared because she was prepared for their anniversary. She tries to make him dinner, and everything is just complete chaos. And I like how you get the sense throughout the entire episode that something is very wrong, and then something weird happens, and then it kind of leads you to speculation. And I like mystery in my episodes like this. And I also love the little 50s sitcom thing that they do with it. I love how every single episode is a different decade. Everything feels completely different. You know, people who are more fans of the sitcoms in the 90s will like the 90s episode better, or 80s, like 80s episode better. You know what I'm saying. They got an episode for everybody. I really love how cheesy it is, the dialogue, the way it's shot, the way they act, the way they dress, everything, it just feels really spot on. It doesn't feel like something that came out in 2021. It really feels like something that came out in the 50s, which is what it's set in. So like the set design, everything, it was really good. That's for basically all the episodes, including the 60s, 70s, and 80s, all of that. They do a good job with all of that. And the commercials I thought were also pretty hilarious. Then we get to episode 2, which is basically about Wanda and Vision trying to fit in by doing a magic show. And things kind of go wrong throughout like it does every episode, but it leaves you a lot to speculate when you're first watching it, week by week. It leaves you a lot to wonder, what was that about? What's going on? There's a lot of mystery involved, a lot of build up to what's all this about, which I really enjoyed about the show. I don't like when a show spoon feeds me everything as soon as it starts. You know, I want to have some mystery to it. And this one really strung me along pretty nicely. And then episode 3, the main thing that happens is that Wanda has her children, and then she eats Monica when she starts talking about Ultron. Oh, this episode was also pretty good. From the cheesy intros to the cheesy dialogue, through the set designs, costume designs, everything. It's just also good. It still continues to build up. It doesn't give us any answers yet until we get to episode 4, where we really figure out what's going on. We find out that Maria Rambeau dies of cancer in the beginning of the episode. And the rest of the episode is basically just about Sword figuring out what Wanda has been doing this whole time, holding an entire town hostage. Episode 5, Vision starts questioning what's going on, and then Evan Peters as Quicksilver shows up. We'll get more to him later. Now, episode 6, in my opinion, this is the best episode. And after this, the show kind of goes off the rails. And when I mean go off the rails, I mean it goes straight off a cliff, right fucking downhill. But episode 6, I thought it was pretty good. It was intense. It was nice seeing Evan Peters as Quicksilver play off with Scarlet Witch. This is what fans of these comic movies have been wanting to see for a long time. We've been wanting to see Evan Peters as Quicksilver interact with, the Scarlet Witch. We've been waiting to see this for a long time. He was one of the best parts about the new X-Men films. And the fact they even got him on the show was just extremely impressive. It was nice seeing his banter with Wanda and then the kids, and then his little insults towards Vision, calling him a popsicle and saying he looks like a bugger. All these other little jokes. This is stuff I wish that we had gotten in the movies with Quicksilver, but instead they killed him off extremely quick. Literally the first movie they introduced him, they kill him off. No future. Makes no sense to kill out Quicksilver in the very first film, so it's nice that Evan Peters is here. You kind of give us what we were missing out on. And then the episode ends with Wanda expanding the Hex, which I thought was extremely intense. Seeing Vision leave the Hex and then he starts dying, it really puts things more into the perspective of, oh, so if the Hex is gone, then Vision's gonna die. They kind of subtly just give us answers throughout. Episode 4 is the only one I really feel like where the show kind of stops and starts spoon-feeding the audience of what's going on. Like, do we really need answers for all this stuff? Not exactly. I don't feel like every single question needed to be answered. A lot of it could have just been left up to interpretation, but whatever, I guess, it still works fine. They've given us enough mystery for the past couple of episodes. I guess we deserve some spoon-feeding. And then episode 7, Agatha is revealed, and then that's basically when the show goes to shit, and just when they feel the need to bring Agatha into everything. We didn't really need a villain for this story. Agatha's only introduced so that Wanda can have somebody to beat up in the finale. We didn't really need a villain for the story. It's kind of too late anyway. She hasn't really been doing anything villainous the entire season, so to introduce a villain in the last couple episodes, it feels a little sloppy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the actress does a great job. You know, just really fun and just cheesing it up. You know, I don't really feel like we needed a villain this late in the show, but whatever. Then we get to episode 8. We get more of Agatha's backstory, along with Wanda's, which I thought was pretty interesting, because I wanted to see more about Wanda before she got her superpowers. I wanted to see kind of what she was like as a child, and what happened before she got her powers, which I'm glad the show showed us. And then we get to the series finale, which in my opinion is when the entire show goes to complete dog shit. It's just very clumsy how they try to make Wanda look like the fucking superhero after she's been holding people hostage for what, over a week? 2 weeks? I don't know the exact time. I know at one point, one of the characters states that it's been over a week. So, these people have been getting tortured for over a week by Wanda so that she can live out her fantasy because she said her robot sex toy died by a giant purple alien. You know, the show would be a lot better if they just didn't try to paint her as a hero. If they just said straight up, you know, hey, Wanda fucked up here. If they just admitted it. If they just admitted that Wanda was in the wrong. Instead they try to make it seem like, oh, Wanda, they'll never understand what you sacrificed for them. I'm sorry, what the fuck did Wanda sacrifice for them? Her imaginary kids? Get the fuck out of here. She didn't sacrifice anything. She tortured these people. She kidnapped them. An entire town. Over thousands of people living here. People with children. People with families. She fucking kidnapped these people. This is something a villain would do, not a fucking superhero. Like, it's okay if you want to have a superhero where they make a mistake. But if you want to have them make a mistake and then try to paint it as, oh, it's okay, you did the right thing at the end, you know? Like, what are you talking about? Not to mention the whole Ralph Boner thing. That's literally one of the dumbest things the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ever done. They give us Evan Peters as Quicksilver, and they could have easily made it work. Oh, Wanda recasts Pietro. Okay, that's perfectly fine. We'll accept it, you know? Nobody's gonna be mad about that. And then out of nowhere, they drop this stupid ass little plot twist in the finale, like, oh, this isn't even Quicksilver, it's just somebody Agatha used to fool Wanda into thinking it's her brother. His real name is actually Ralph Boner. I'm sorry, what? You had the opportunity to recast Quicksilver for the MCU, and you just throw it out the window for a boner joke? Are you fucking kidding me? This is just ridiculous, bro. It's really just stupid. I don't know what Marvel was thinking when they did this. They ruined a perfect opportunity to bring Quicksilver into here, a fan favorite character. People love his Quicksilver, so you already don't have to worry about that. And then they just threw it out the window for a Ralph Boner joke. I don't know what they were thinking here. But yeah. And then Vision transfers his consciousness into the old Vision, the real Vision, and then he just flies away. Hopefully that's addressed in the Multiverse of Madness or some kind of future project, because what the fuck was the point of that? If White Vision is just gonna fly away knowing what the real Vision has been through, consciousness or whatever it was he did to him, just doesn't really make much sense. I don't really see where else he would appear in the future of the MCU if not for Doctor Strange 2, but I really don't see him actually appearing in that movie because it would just be completely random for the actual film if out of nowhere, oh hey, here's White Vision. Like, what? People who didn't watch WandaVision are going to be completely confused. And then unfortunately, the series finale is also when we get a whole bunch of generic Marvel shit. We get a whole bunch of Man of Steel references between White Vision and the fake Vision, which is the real Vision. It's confused. I don't know what to call them. Just Vision and White Vision have a little Man of Steel battle. There's a lot of action scenes that really remind me of that movie. And then Agatha and Wanda have their generic, throwing magic at each other while they spit out dialogue that's very cringy. Oh, you can't defeat me, Wanda. So yeah, the series finale, in my opinion, is just when the show completely falls apart. And then Wanda just kind of flies away after letting all her hostages go without telling them sorry or anything of that sort. She just flies away, says, nope, not my problem. You guys can deal with your own trauma. I'll admit the show's had some emotional moments, like in the episode where Wanda's watching a sitcom with her parents and then all of a sudden the bomb goes off, or when she just tell her kids goodbye and all this other stuff. There's a lot of emotional moments out of the show. I really enjoyed the show itself. It was a great show, but I feel like the last couple episodes is when it really goes off the rail. I've heard some people say it was because of coronavirus. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, I should have just waited until they could actually do the show the way they intended it to be, not whatever this is that we got, because the series finale felt like they were trying to wrap up way too much, way too quick. I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I felt like the series finale is when the show really just fell flat on its face. But it's okay to ignore how good the other episodes were leading up to it, but it kind of has a Game of Thrones feel to it, where it's like, okay, leading up to the journey has been great, but then when we actually get there, it's like, this is very disappointing. But yeah, besides that, I really enjoyed Wanda's new costume. I also like her costume in the Halloween episode where we get her classic Scarlet Witch outfit. And I'm hoping in Doctor Strange 2 they kind of address that Wanda is sort of the villain. Not sort of. She is the villain, and not just like, oh, Wanda, I know you did some mistakes. It's okay, girl. Don't worry about it. So I'm thinking that's going to be addressed in Doctor Strange 2, so I'll kind of reserve some judgment for that. But as far as the show itself, which is what I have to judge it on, not future projects, Wanda should have gotten way more shit for what she did. They even kind of address it in the show. Agatha straight up says, you know, heroes don't torture people. And throughout the show, I'm kind of agreeing with the generic evil white guy who wants to take out Wanda. A lot of stuff he's saying, he makes some great points. And I feel like the show never really counters his arguments. But they're trying to make him look out to be the bad guy, but really a lot of the stuff he's saying, it makes a lot of sense. And he's kind of in the right. He's holding an entire town hostage. Why would you want to stop him from rescuing those people? Wanda's very much in the wrong. I think Monica was just really trying to go about of talking Wanda down, trying to convince her to do it, whereas the generic evil white guy was just like, no, let's kill that bitch. Which he's probably kind of right, because she is kind of crazy. But yeah, those are my thoughts of WandaVision. What did you guys think about the show? Do you think it's one of the best on Disney Plus? Personally, as of right now, because Moon Knight's finale has not aired as of me recording this audio, I think that WandaVision is my favorite Disney Plus show. That's mostly because a lot of them have been pretty lame, but Moon Knight looks like it could surpass WandaVision. We'll have to give it some time after it actually airs its finale and really let it just marinate and see how we think about it later on. Because it's easy to say something's the best when it first comes out. You gotta give it some months to see how you feel about it later on. But yeah, I think WandaVision might be my favorite Disney Plus show out of all the MCU shows that they've had so far. Just wish they could have stuck that landing a little bit better, because honestly it was pretty fucking stupid. But I don't feel like it really hurts the episodes prior to that. I really loved the different tones and styles that they had. And I like the mystery of the early episodes. I don't know why everybody hates episode 1 and 2 so much. I thought those were like some of the better episodes of the entire show. It's nice just having a feel-good show. You know, we need more superhero shows like this where they have each episode is dealing with something different, whereas it feels like nowadays whenever you have a superhero TV show or just a TV show in general nowadays, it has to be, oh, it's just a long movie. It's just story just very stretched out instead of just, you know, hey, let's have this story throughout that whole episode and it's just something stupid like, you know, Vision trying to impress his boss and get a promotion. I mean, I know it's just playing along with the 50s, but still, I feel like that really could work for an actual TV show for superheroes. But yeah, I've been going on about this long enough. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And are you hyped for Doctor Strange 2? Hopefully it's good. We'll find out soon. See you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video.